Chapter 23. Jesus Returns. On occasion, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, would make mention of future times. One morning, the Prophet described the Dajjal, a fearsome man destined to come in later days and wreak havoc in the world. At the same time, the Prophet indicated him to be insignificant and yet so significant that his followers listening to him thought the Dajjal was sitting on the date palm trees nearby. Many of the Christians refer to the Dajjal as the Antichrist. When the followers went to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the evening, he perceived the sign of fear on their faces. The Prophet said, "What is the matter with you?" They said, "O Messenger, you talked about Dajjal this morning, raising your voice and lowering it until we thought he was hiding in the palm tree grove." He said, "Something other than Dajjal made you worry. If he appears while I am with you, I will defend you against him. But if he appears after I die, then every one of you is his own defender. Allah is the one who remains after me to guide every Muslim. Dajjal will be a young man with very curly hair, with one eye protruding. I compare his appearance to that of the son of Qatan. He who amongst you survives to see him should recite over him from the Quran. He will appear on the way between Syria and Iraq, and will spread mischief right and left. O slaves of Allah, remain adherent to the truth." The followers asked, "O Messenger, how long will he stay on the earth?" The Prophet replied, "For 40 days. One day will be like a year, one day like a month, one day like a week, and the rest of the days will be like your days." The followers asked, "O Messenger, will one day's prayer be equal to 1 year?" He explained, "No, but you must make an estimate of time and then offer prayer." The followers then asked, "O Messenger, how quickly will he walk upon the earth?" The Prophet replied, "Like cloud driven by the wind. He will come to the people and call them to his obedience, and they will affirm their faith in him and respond to him. He will then give command to the sky, and it will send its rain upon the earth, and he will then send his command to the earth, and it will grow vegetation. Then in the evening their pasturing animals will come to them with their humps very high, and their udders full of milk, and their flanks stretched. He will then come to another people and invite them, but they will reject him, and he will leave them in barren lands and without any goods and chattels. He would then walk through the wasteland and say to it, 'Bring forth your treasures.' And the treasures will come out and follow him like swarms of bees. He will then call a person brimming with youth, and strike him with the sword, and cut him into 2 pieces, and make these pieces lie at a distance, which is generally between the archer and his target. He will then call that young man, and he will come forward, laughing, with his face gleaming out of joy. It will be at this very time that Allah will send Jesus, son of Mary, who will descend at the white minaret in the eastern side of Damascus, wearing 2 garments lightly dyed, and placing his hands on the wings of 2 angels. When he will lower his head, there would fall drops of water from his head, and when he will raise it up, drops like pearls would scatter from it. Every disbeliever who will find Jesus' smell will die, and his smell will reach as far as he will be able to see. Jesus will then search for Dajjal until he will catch hold of him at the gate of Lud and will kill him. Then the people whom Allah will have protected will come to Jesus, and he will wipe their faces and will inform them of their ranks in paradise. And it will be under such conditions that Allah will reveal to Jesus these words, "I have brought forth from amongst my slaves such people against whom none will be able to fight. So take these people safely to the mountain." And then Allah will send the Yajuj and Majuj people, and they will swarm down from every slope. The first of them will pass the lake Tabariya and drink all its water. And when the last of them will pass, he will say, "There was once water there." Jesus and his companions will then be so hard-pressed that the head of an ox will be dearer to them than 100 dinar. And Jesus, along with his companions, will make supplication to Allah, who will send insects which will attack the necks of the Yajuj and Majuj people until they will all perish like a single person. Jesus and his companions will then come down, and they will not find in the earth as much space as a single span which would not be filled with their corpses and their stench. Jesus and his companions will then again beseech Allah, who will send birds whose necks will be like those of Bactrian camels, and they will carry them and throw them where Allah will desire. Then Allah will send down rain, which will spare no house in the city or in the countryside. It will wash away the earth until it appears like a mirror. Then the earth will be told to bring forth its fruit and restore its blessings. And as a result of this, there will grow such a big pomegranate that a group of people will eat from it and seek shelter under its skin. Milk will be so blessed that the milk of one she-camel will suffice for a large company, and the cow will give so much milk that it will suffice for a whole tribe. The sheep will give so much milk that a whole family will be able to drink out of that. At that time, Allah will send a pleasant wind which will soothe people even under their armpits, and will take the life of every true believer, and only the wicked will survive. They will commit adultery in public like asses, and the resurrection day will be held.